Notice to the Environment Agency and politicians. This is a oak tree. It is made of wood and has leaves. A 60-year-old oak tree drinks up to 50 gallons of water a day. When you cut them all down, you will cause floods on and beyond your new housing estates. You bunch of twats. Totally agree with Spain's new policy. If you cause trouble whilst being a guest in our country, you get sent home and are given a life ban from ever returning back to Spain. Now can the wimps we have as MPs please do the same? Any foreign national breaking the law in this country are instantly deported and given a life ban from ever returning. I wonder how many disagree with my statement there. Well, I agree with it, but the bunch of bastards in Parliament aren't going to do anything about it, because they're all working to the same agenda. Whenever you see the words low fat or fat free, think of the words chemical shitstorm. If you are pissed off or angry about vaccines, abortion, religion intolerance, child trafficking, poison water, poison food, poison medicine, paedophiles, 5G, child brides, fluoride, fake church leaders, fake churches, fake media, chemtrails, or anything else that just makes you want to smash things, do not effing stop talking. They want you to get tired of being attacked and ridiculed. They want you to feel like it's pointless. They want you to just give up. Double down, fight harder, never surrender. Never. Share this video with everyone you can. If you put aluminium in a microwave, it catches fire. If you blanket the country in chemtrails laced with aluminium and activate 5G, suicide fear over weapons-grade technology being tested in Cornwall. This is the 5G shit. The rumours are that it can actually control what you think, can make you suicidal. Cornwall is one of 2 confirmed test areas for 5G phone system. A US professor has called a massive experiment on the health of all species. A weapons-grade new phone technology which is being tested in Cornwall is sparking health concerns after a spate of suicides at Bristol University. Cornwall and Cumbria have been confirmed as test areas for the new 5G mobile technology in rural areas, it has been revealed. However, a public health professor at the University of California has described 5G as a massive experiment on the health of all species, and there are also fears the 5G network will require a huge proliferation of new masts, with one for every 10 to 20 homes. New organisations including Cornish group Villages Against Masts VAM have launched campaigns to call the greater security of mobile phone technology and coverage, citing serious concerns over health risks, especially mental health. Jane Harvey, founding member of VAM, says she has deep concerns about the amount of mass needed for 5G network. She said, since researching the health effects, I have a real concern over mass, but also Wi-Fi and the looming 5G technology. 5G is not good at all. Unfortunately, Cornwall and Cumbria have been chosen to trial 5G in rural areas. The US has been 5G rolling out in many places, impacting human health, wildlife and the environment. As usual, links in description if you want to read the rest. Facebook bans group trying to stop drag queen story hours for hate speech. Bullshit. Spokane, Washington, July 16, 2019. A grassroots group dedicated to ending drag queen story hour was kicked off Facebook for posting what the social media giant called hate speech. Anna Hall Bohack, founder of 500 Moms Strong, told LifeSite News over the phone that the group's Facebook page was removed on Sunday after she received a final warning. It's just insanity that what they're counting as hate speech, she said. Wax's offending post included a placard saying women don't have to be polite to someone who makes them feel uncomfortable, and a message expressing sympathy with Andy Ngo, the Conservative reporter hospitalised after being attacked by a member of the far-right left anarchist group Antifa. The mother of four also expressed her disgust with a man who complained that his wife breastfeeds better than he can, and posted that the word for a woman who cut off her breast and got pregnant by a man who had breast implants was insanity. In addition, Bohak addressed a man who identified as a woman as a freaking pervert near the end of the post, explaining that womanhood is more than liking to wear a dress and makeup. This is the final push to totally destroy us. And it's our job to make sure that doesn't happen. Madam arrested after 250 child prostitutes raped and branded with tattoos. More than 250 child prostitutes were allegedly raped and branded with tattoos after being trafficked to a tourist city in Colombia. Police in the northern city of Cartagena have arrested 18 people, including foreigners, hotel owners, police officers, Navy captain, and Colombian woman known as Madame. The underage girls, most from Colombia and Venezuela, are aged between 14 and 17 and were all allegedly raped, tattooed, and forced into having sex with locals and tourists. Lilian del Carmen Campos Puella, known as the Madam, is being believed to be the network's ringleader, along with several unnamed Israelis. Israelis again, eh? What a shock. Burger King linked to whopping 1 million+ acres of deforestation. You might think soy is just a green, harmless alternative for those trying to steer away from meat and towards a plant-based diet. Not exactly. 3/4 of the world's soy is used for animal feed, and about half of it is exported from South America, grown on deforested land that has been cleared away for massive soy fields. The soy being connected to deforestation are making their way to feed on the chickens, pigs and cows that people around the world eat, says Glenn Horowitz, CEO of the campaign group Mighty Earth. Almost every international company that sells meat has some connection to deforestation in their supply chain. Enter Burger King. Using satellite and supply chain mapping tools, Mighty Earth connected the fast food giant to a whopping 1 million+ acres of forest clearing. In its new report, The Ultimate Mystery Meat, the global campaign organization identified two of Burger King's biggest soy suppliers as the culprits: Cargill, the largest privately owned company in the United States, and Bungo, one of the biggest players in South America. The destruction of tropical forests causes something around 1/5 of the world's total climate pollution. The deforestation has also threatened some of the most endangered species in the world, says Horowitz. Ground zero for deforestation land in Cerrado, a 500 million acre savanna in Brazil, home to 5% of the world's biodiversity, including threatened species like the jaguar and the giant anteater. Half of it has been destroyed, most for soy production. In contrast, the Amazon, the Cerrado's more famous neighbour to the north and focus of decades of conservation efforts, has seen a quarter of its ecosystem chopped down. Teen hormones being altered by gender-bending chemicals. For 4 out of every 5 British teens have their hormones upset by gender-bending chemicals found in plastic. New research suggests the chemicals, called bisphenol, BPA, is used to make plastics, including materials that come into contact with food. And they know it leaches into the food and drink. That's why they're doing it. But it can mimic the female sex hormone estrogen and cause a lower sperm count in men. The chemical is also thought to be linked to several different types of cancer, including breast and prostate. Researchers at Exeter University studied the blood and urine of 94 teenagers aged 17 to 19 and found 80% had the hormone disruptor chemical in their bodies. Exotoxicology professor Tamara Galloway, who co-led this study, said there was growing evidence that ensures exposure to the chemical may be associated with poorer health. And this is why they got rid of everything coming in glass bottles, because glass bottles don't let anything leach into it. Professor Lorna Harris, who has also worked on the study, described it as a pervasive disruptor and added, we should have a choice over what we put in our bodies. When the teens changed their diet to include more fresh produce, the BPA levels among those with the highest levels began to fall, but there was little change amongst others. BPA is legal in the UK, but it shouldn't be. In the United States, things are more complicated. The FDA said in 2012 that baby bottles and child sippy cups could not contain BPA, and it is banned in a number of states. However, it is still legal in products intended for adults in many states. BPA is used in plastic, including refillable drink bottles and food storage containers, as well as protective coating and lining for food and drink cans. It is also used to develop dye in thermal paper, which is used for store sales receipts and public transport and parking tickets. So when you go in, they say, do you want a receipt? And you pick the receipt. That's got BPA on it. So they're putting the hormone into your body that way as well. The European Chemicals Agency, ECA, has identified the chemical as a substance of very high concern and will restrict the use of it in our recipes by 2020. Members for the ECA committee warned that BPA can disrupt the body's endocrine system, which is the collection of glands that produce hormones. They're depopulating us with so many different methods, you will be shocked. But then again, most of you probably know most of them. 10,000 children in care went missing last year amid concerns they are being exploited and abused. More than 10,000 children in care went missing last year amid evidence that they are being groomed by paedophiles and exploited by drug gangs. New figures from the Department of Education disclose for the first time that the authorities lost track of 1 in 10 children in care in 2017, with some going missing more than over a month. There were 60,720 incidents where a child went missing last year, meaning that on average children in care go missing 6 times per year. It comes amid concerns that children in care are being drawn into the life of crime or abused in the wake of scandals like Rotherham, Telford and Rochdale. Mum, whose 11-year-old dances in drag at gay nightclubs, is cleared by Child Protective Services. And what can you take from that? You take that Child Protective Services is fully behind this BGT bullshit, crappy, shitty, let's destroy the kids agenda. New York, March 12th, 2019. Drag kid, Desmond is amazing. Mum has taken to social media to vindicate herself after state and local agencies determined that she had not committed child abuse by allowing her young son to perform in gay bars. A barrage of allegations of abuse and exploitation were triggered when a video of Desmond performing in drag at the $3 Bill, a gay club in Brooklyn, New York, was released last December. The internet and social media quickly erupted with calls for child welfare authorities to investigate. Child Protective Services, or Child Paedophile Services, that would be a more apt name, investigated Desmond's family, as did the New York City Administration for Child Services, ACS, the New York Police Department, NYPD, the Child Advocacy Center, the Center for Missing and Exploited Children, the Department of Labor, the District Attorney's Office. Because of the number of reports they received, our case went on all the way to the Governor's Office, said Wendy Naples, Desmond's mum. We had announced visits and unannounced visits to our home nearly daily at all hours of and Desmond's school. Our family was probed more intensely than at any other case before. This past weekend, Naples posted on Instagram a series of 10 photos of the exonerating letters she has received from the concerned agency, showing that the assertions of child abuse were unfounded. We have been accused of child abuse, exploitation and maltreatment to the point that we have been backed into a corner trying to defend ourselves, she said in the Instagram posting. We have been under a microscope since early December. I don't care if these paedophile organisations have said it's okay. It's not. More paedophile bullshit. Army prepares women to shower with men as part of transgender training. Utter bullshit. July 12th, 2017. The US Army is telling women soldiers that they need to accept gender-confused biological men in their showers, bathrooms and barracks as part of a controversial policy to build dignity and respect for transgender soldiers. The guidance is part of the Pentagon's new transgender inclusion agenda launched by Obama and gaining ground in the armed services. Social conservatives and mounting a counter-offensive to ditch the trans program altogether. President Trump and the Pentagon has sent mixed signals on LGBT issues, with the DoD honouring gay, lesbian and bisexual transgender Pride Month in June, even as Trump himself broke with Obama by not issuing a homosexual pride proclamation. In Vegeta 4 on the Army's PowerPoint guidance titled Policy on the Military Service of Transgender Soldiers Training Module Tier 3 Units of Soldiers issued last September, it states that the following regarding a hypothetical transgender soldier who is transitioning to a new gender. Utter bullshit. The Times. Children really do make you happier once they leave home. Johnson gives EU his Brexit demands. Letter to Tusk insists that backstop must go. Iran confirms 10-year jail sentence for British spy. Telegraph. Johnson tears up backstop in talk push. PM demands new arrangements with EU after clash with Irish Premier over border. Children are being enticed to gamble. British rover to search for the life beyond Mars. Picture the parasites. NCA declares war on unexplained wealth of country lines drug gangs. Guardian. EU unconvinced on Johnson as Johnson sets out fresh bid to remove Brexit backstop. Our friendship and partners on the other side of the channel are showing a little resistance to change their position. Alarm over measles as vaccination rates fall because everybody's realising it's a depopulation weapon. Wildfire forces 9,000 to flee in Gran Canaria. Ooh, Gran Canaria. Aye. Why Tories will no longer seize today. How to survive in any situation. Secrets from an emergency call centre. It's great up north. Sweeteners for C4 staff who move to New Leeds HQ. Rayner takes the biscuit. Poor weather devastates wheat harvest. Prince Andrew and the Epstein allegations. Duke says he's appalled by abuse claims, even though he's a pervert, paedophile, child rapist himself and murderer. Are the All Blacks losing their power? Jane Austen meets Love Island. Yeah. End of free movement, no deal borders crackdown. Downing Street rips up May's guarantees to EU citizens after Brexit. Home Secretary will introduce much tougher immigration checks. U-turn could affect millions of EU nationals living in Britain. Ministers in race against time to avoid border chaos on 31st of October. Metro. Brexit PM confident EU will fold. Harry and Meghan, the parasites and paedophiles, Air Miles row. Elton leaves flying royals alone. Another pedo sticking up for him. Star defends 4 private jets in 11 days. Says he paid for and offset latest trip. Express. Roll up for new bake-off. Nope. Paedophile Andrew. I talked to police in Epstein probe because they are work for him. Police chief hard-hitting response to seeing violence on Britain's streets. I'll arm every officer with a taser gun. It's a way of getting everyone there so they can start zapping us all. Distressed Elton. Why is I paid for Harry and Meghan's private jet? Because I'm a paedophile and I've raped children along with them. Daily Fail. Prince's turbulent times. I paid for Harry's jet, admits Elton. Leave him alone. He rapes children just like I do. Epstein flight record that raises yet more questions from Andrew. Damning indictment of failing social care system. Hospitals take 1,000 dementia patients a day. Aluminium smoke, they're spraying it in the atmosphere. It's in the beer cans, it's in your crisp packets. You buy food, it's in a foil packet, aluminium foil packet. Everything's in foil packets. That's why the aluminium's getting into your system. Jacket potatoes wrapped in aluminium foil. Mirror. Elton, I paid for Harry and Meghan's private jet because we're all paedophiles together. Death of the Ripper hoaxer. Wearside Jack, whose con let friend kill again, drinks himself to death at 63. The Scum. Sean's Catiover split. Exclusive. Car makers fit secret trackers in motors. There's a spy in your Mercedes. Well, I would sue Mercedes for that because I'd be suing Mercedes, and if they don't take it out immediately, well, you still sue them anyway. Boris is in the 4-page salvo of Brussels. Waste of paper. Great British fake off. Psychos of the skies call the flying squad. Cops rage as bird brain rings 999 over Seagull. I'm going to hell. Yep, you probably are. Financial Times. Macron seeks Ukraine talks. Traitor. Hong Kong billionaire seizes on weak pound to lap up Green King. CK assets in 4.6 billion deal. Property group run by Lee's son. No deal Brexit fears defined. US companies ditch investors' first creed that had driven capitalism since 1970s. And almost finally. A Chinese businessman has shared this image saying that happiness of children is the most valuable thing in the world. $1 million worth of Lamborghini is nothing in front of that. So he allows the kids to jump and play on this Lamborghini. The best part is that the kids are not his, and neither is the Lamborghini. Sometimes when you cry, nobody sees your tears. Sometimes when you're hurt, nobody sees your pain. Sometimes when you're sad, nobody sees your sorrow. But for just one time, are you out of your mind? Why do you carry those bricks now in bedtime? None of your business.